Many artists get stuck when the painting in their mind doesn't match the painting that's on the canvas. But the difference between a stuck artist and a growing artist isn't talent, it's knowing what to do next. Hey, so if you don't know who I am, my name is Kathy Mevick. I'm an expressive abstract artist and mentor. And if you've ever felt stuck in your art, I want you to know that I've been there more times than I can count. This was actually the hardest part of my art journey, and I'm guessing it might be the hardest part of yours too. I wanted to paint expressive abstract paintings like the artist that I looked up to so bad that it actually hurt. That's why I want to talk about the difficult gap between the paintings that you dream of creating and what actually happens when you pick up your paintbrush. I want to talk about how so many artists get stuck here and how things like perfectionism, comparison, and worrying about what other people think can make things even harder. I'll also share what helped me finally move forward with things like giving myself permission to experiment, learning to paint for myself first, and getting the kinds of knowledge that actually helps you make sense of your own painting process. At the time, all I knew was that I felt stuck. I remember sitting there trying to tell my art teacher at the time that I had so much bottled up inside me that I wanted to express. But no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't get it out. So I kept asking her over and over again, "How do you know what you're supposed to paint?" She probably got so tired of listening to me that she just decided to tell me to stick with something. So I did. I kept painting the same things that I had been painting before, but the combination of being kind of early in my journey and wanting to paint stronger paintings than I was capable of at the time led me into a spiral of putting myself down. On the bright side, though, there was always a part of me that knew that I had more in me. And I knew this because I was willing to stay in the journey, even though I was putting myself down as much as I was. But I still felt stuck and I hated it. By the way, if any of this is resonating with you, let me know in the comments because I always love hearing where you are in your own process. Anyhow, that is what I wish everyone who feels stuck would understand because all you need to do actually is to stick with it. The more you paint, the more you're going to get in touch with yourself. And if you're lucky enough to find a mentor or two along the way that can help you with the skills that you need to put what you hold inside onto canvas, then you'll be well on your way. You already have all the ingredients you need to become the artist that you dream of being. The most important thing that you can do is become aware of the ingredients that you love the most. Is it the colors, the marks, the methods, or maybe it's even the way something feels when you do it? You're the only one who knows what excites you. And once you start noticing them, you can start using them with more intention. Sticking with it is so important because even when you start discovering what you love, perfectionism might still be there getting in the way. So you might find yourself thinking and worrying and overanalyzing just like I did. I was never satisfied with my work. So nothing was ever good enough. I thought that every painting I created needed to be a masterpiece because every painting the artist that I looked up to seemed to be just that. But that's when I realized a few things. I was creating my paintings with my audience in mind. I was thinking about selling the painting before I had even created it. And that alone stopped me in my tracks. So you see, when you start painting like no one will ever see it, that's when you start hearing your own voice more clearly. Nobody performs well under pressure unless they feel really confident. Experimenting is the best way to find that confidence. So don't be afraid to experiment. Sometimes giving yourself permission to just play with that pressure will open new doors. For me, the biggest shift came when I stopped tying my worth to how the paintings that I created turned out. After all, we all learn through failure. How many times did you fall off your bike learning to ride? Did you tell yourself you were a failure or did you just get up and try again? Somewhere underneath all of this is the part of you that knows what to do. Somewhere underneath is the part that needs courage. The courage to be vulnerable and to let yourself paint the way that you were meant to. In my opinion, this is the heart of the journey. one that I'm still on myself. But over time, things have gotten a lot easier just because I allowed myself to just be me. If you don't discover who you are, you'll never be able to paint what you need to. Today, I paint what I love, but I know that there's still more to discover. The difference between today and back then is that I no longer feel stuck. I'm constantly growing and moving forward because I dare to push my limits without worrying about what the world around me thinks of what I do. The clue is to do you. Because when you paint for yourself first, you make yourself happy, and the right people will naturally connect with what you create. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself with. Another thing that I wish I had done was be more intentional about gaining the knowledge that I needed. Because back then, I would just take a course here and a course there, and I would never even, check to see what they taught. I just liked the artist. And I would only gain bits and pieces of a very large puzzle. I can remember how frustrating it was not understanding what my art was missing. And even though everyone who helped me learn to paint was an important part of my journey, I know that I could have saved a lot of time and money if I had found someone who would have given me the bigger picture in a more structured way. What I'm trying to say is that knowledge turns out to be the missing link for me. Not because you have to follow a set of strict rules. That's not how it works. The knowledge that you gain is more like a guiding light that points you to solutions when you're stuck. It's the visual language that you learn to speak so that you can put meaning into those colors and shapes and the compositions that you create. The language is how you find your unique way of painting because you speak this language in your own way. And without it, you're just going to stay stuck and lost. This is actually the whole reason I got into teaching. I knew that others were struggling to find these answers. And I was so passionate about sharing this so that I could help other artists move from that place of confusion and self doubt into clarity and confidence. You see, my mission isn't driven by sales or status. It's genuinely about helping you reconnect with yourselves through painting. This journey of finding your voice is ongoing, and the insights that I share are designed to be a living reference, a framework that you can return to again and again as your art evolves. What truly makes a difference in getting unstuck is the carefully designed tools, the clear mindset, guidance, and some personal support along the way because that's something we all need. These are some of the biggest lessons that I've learned on this journey, and they are what have transformed my art. So, if this speaks to you and you're ready to stop feeling stuck, come and join me in the free clarity workshop. I'd love to help you take the next step toward painting the way that you've always wanted to. The link is below. We start on Monday, August 11th, and I would absolutely love to see you there. All right. Until next time, guys. Bye.